In terms of extreme in how it maybe affected me was on Instagram. I saw a cartoon.
Like whether it's videos or cartoons.
And it's kind of this 4-frame cartoon.
Following last Wednesday's meeting, cartoons were reposted with attempts to justify them.
And so first off, just seeing a cartoon and someone kind of drawing a cartoon of me was kind of a little bit striking. I was not expecting that.
Cartoons about me that are sexually suggestive or that reduce me to female genitalia.
And then the sexual overtone to it was very unexpected.
And it's satire. And look, I'm not the first person to do crude artwork of politicians. It's not like I came up with this in myself. Like, what we should do is we should make fun of them with pictures. Like, yeah, people have been doing that for hundreds or thousands of years. And so I made them legendary. Nobody's done that for them before. You're welcome, guys. And of course, we got Grant LaFish. He dates a regional councillor in this story, and she leaks emails to him based on a true story.
So I got to a point where I was a bit frazzled or didn't really know how to engage in these issues anymore. I should mention that when I was arrested, and probably most of our viewers know this, my Facebook was deleted.
I've been targeted by this person or these people or this page.
Grant LaFleche himself went through those posts and flagged them as copyright, and so Facebook closed my account.
They may take a comment down or they may remove a page or suspend somebody, but they're very quickly back in action.
And I lost 10 years of work because of Grant LaFleche. So I think it's very important to remember. And the psychological impact. And Grant, it says here, was reassured to know that the system still works.
No matter the issue being discussed, media plays an important role, arguably the most important role, in forming public opinion.
I can say since 2013, over 250 local media outlets have completely closed.
And I'd like some clarification on who trusts these outlets. Is it the third estate, as in the common people, or the first and second estates, as in the people who are more like you? This reminds me of recent coverage that constitutionally challenged barber / turned producer Elisa Herder received from Grant LaFleche in the St. Catharines Standard, where misleading headlines and a paywall created a false sense of events that led to harassment against Herder.
You should be the one beheaded because you're damn stupid not to understand that we're going through a pandemic.
The story does not implicate Ms. Herder in anything other than the post that she made.
Didn't she make a post advocating for violence or death? Hung up.
LaFleche made corrections that were not advertised and shared with the same fervor as the original articles. The fact that the articles were changed shows a guilty conscience, yet the damage was done.
Question through you, Chair. Is it true that you've been ticketed and fined for breaching COVID-19 safety regulations?
Councillor, yep, I don't think that has anything to do with the presentation. Thank you.
Okay, I do think it goes to credibility, but I respect your decision, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you.
And in forming public opinion, there is an opportunity to influence public policy.
Editorial pages, and in black and white, they called for coercion.
Intimate partner violence and coercive control are not mutual, not by any stretch of the imagination. Coercive control cannot be mutual because then, in fact, no one has control.
So I'm against coercion. Lockdowns are vaccine coercion. Masks are vaccine coercion. Test and trace regimes are vaccine coercion. And vaccine passports, the top issue of our day, this is the moment we're in, people. Vaccine passports are coercion.
Self-defense or violent resistance is not mutual abuse. It is surviving. The person who is driven to push back against their abuser is not seeking power or control in the relationship. They want the power and control to stop. They want their freedom back.
All over this land, I'd scrape for justice, I'd scrape for freedom, I'd scrape for love, brothers and sisters.
They want their freedom back.
April 10th, April 17th, May 1st, May 8th, Canadian flags. And then June, it's like, you should be ashamed for being Canadian. That's the message we got. See, I thought the first one was a little puerile, him taking a shit. So I wanted to demonstrate that my satire skills are higher than just, oh, he took a shit. I don't really have any problem with Greg Miller, except that he wanted to cancel Canada Day. And that helmet is priceless. And this is about political satire. I'm dunking on the idea that you're going to strap yourself to a CRT rocket.
So there's been articles written about the fact that these far-right white supremacist groups are getting themselves enmeshed in anti-lockdown organizing, and you can see it. It's plain as day. And some people are messaging me trying to explain to me how it is not a white supremacist flag.
These people are not trying to bring us together at all.
Finish that tweet, Jim.
We need more people telling these stories to help get us closer to herd immunity. Anti-vaxxers are a societal scourge.
You're damn right they're not bringing us closer together, Jim.
Wow.
Societal scourge.
And there's my fish Alicia. In Grant's imagination has just decapitated Hergy. Grant LaFish's imagination. This is another one of the posts that was flagged as bullying and harassment. Really? Oh, after 6 months of Biden, Trump isn't so bad, eh?
LaFish gets his clam.
LaFish got his clam. And I think we all know who we're talking about here. I got to sort of satirize the people who hate him by putting them as characters. Like, oh, as a public-facing figure, I get a lot of undeserved hate. Jim Finnan was right. How offensive.
Oh, the lobster says Jim Finnan is right. Is that a Jordan Peterson reference?
Women, girls, however, they are more aggressive than males. They use reputation destruction. That translates to social media unbelievably well.
This is one of the first ones I did.
This is kind of hot.
Well, you know. I like how I didn't represent her in any submissive way, because that'd be like, oh my God, how dare you.
Cartoons about me that are sexually suggestive.
No, she's the dominant one. She likes being the dominant one. You're a cheeky bastard.
Is it spanking time again, Laura?
If anyone knows you and knows the story, they know that there's a strange hate obsession that they have with you.
Oh, come on, man. I don't see you drawing pictures of Muhammad. Why do you hate Christians so much? They fucking built your society, you dumb fucking...
Because this is not what she wants to be thinking. It's like, oh, why do I hate Jim? Like, well, I'm not in her head. I don't really know what she's thinking. But then I made it into a joke, like the hypnotherapist put it in her head. So it's like, okay, it's a joke.
Now, a scroll through the social media accounts of that podcast shows the podcast to be misogynistic, anti-choice, transphobic, homophobic, and white nationalist. So I'm not sure why the counselor would associate himself with that kind of content.
It's probably in a folder marked Shandor on her computer under the harassments that Laura Ip has received from us for criticizing an elected member of the regional government.
Officers have advised me more than once to keep screenshots of tweets, posts, and emails from the most problematic individuals whenever they contact me or post something about me. For just one individual, I have 1,076 screenshots in 1,085 days.
It's outrageous, right? That we're lying about it, that we're making it up, that we're blowing it out of proportion, that, you know, all of these things. And I can't appear angry about it. I can't appear sad about it. People don't see me, you know, reduced to tears in my house or slamming my hands on my desk because somebody has said something that is just so outrageous. Or in some cases, seeing something that somebody has drawn or a video or whatever and having to actually keep myself from throwing up because I'm so disgusted by it.
Every now and then, someone is brave/stupid enough, it's a fine line, to attach their name to it. And so I thought, you know what, if you're going to send me messages like this, I'm going to show everybody that you're sending me messages like this.
On March 14th, Douglas sent her a message. She didn't like the message, and she had a meltdown online.
You better watch your mouth or something, or you got a mouth on you.
You got a mouth on you. We are watching.
And you put a picture of kids.
there's a sort of a violence in you have a mouse on you that set me to shaking, frankly. The follow-up message was, we are watching.
I'm being harassed.
Right. I mean,
I'm a victim. This is unacceptable.
And then months later,
female
believes the same. So.
And so I posted the screenshots. That set him to start making accusations about me bullying him, that I'm playing the victim card, that I'm a whiner. It continued. I was still getting messages this morning. I called the police.
So there you go. The Pie Day Meltdown, artistically represented. This is Laura Ip baking pies.
So follow the thread here. You should be ashamed of yourself. What is this teaching young men in our community? You have a mouth on you.
There you go.
Oh, here's the kids. We're watching. The kids are watching you. You're not fit. Our kids are watching you, and you're not a good example for them. That's not, I'm sitting out front of your house waiting for you to come out so I can beat you up.
Yeah, no wonder she was offended, and no wonder she reframed the argument to have nothing to do with what he originally said.
So I thank Dr. Hergy for taking the approach of enhancing those measures and doing what is necessary to keep Niagara safe.
People who are less likely to vaccinate are often of lower income, people of racial minorities. There are people who actually, live perhaps less privileged lives than some of the rest of us. We're taking marginalized groups and actually marginalizing them even more with the vaccine requirement. It is an opportunity that we don't need to go to a lockdown this time, at least not a lockdown for everybody, but rather a lockdown just for the unvaccinated people.
PC articles.
I never even saw that one.
Yeah, so that's a dense, super satire. It's really transformative energy, I think, because you take the story, the February 13th story, where I say, but the Flash, the media.
Was a comment saying he had to be removed by office by any means necessary, including force, and that his head should be put on a stick.
Totally exaggerated this phrase, let's put his head on a stick.
Was tongue-in-cheek
in the first place.
Look, Saturday morning I was going to have a nice breakfast, going to read the New York Times, maybe going to play some God of War and not get off the couch for a day. By the time I saw these things, began to do my investigation, wrote a story about it, and then it blew up.
He uses GIFs to close off his threads, like from Star Trek Discovery, context is for kings.
Phil's the only one without a mask.
And he was the only one without a mask. Yeah, he doesn't exactly fit in with the milieu of the political circle jerk that happens there. Oh, man. I mean, that is... Whoo, lordy.
And so first off, just seeing a cartoon and someone kind of drawing a cartoon of me was kind of a little bit striking. I was not expecting that. And then the sexual overtone to it was very unexpected.
It's specifically a scene from Lil Nas X's music video. And the joke here is that Dr. Hergy would do this if it meant influencing that age bracket. He's now a vaccine salesperson and he'll put himself in any position at all to get the youth vaccinated. I love this artwork. This took a while.
Several types of abusive behavior, coercion and threats,
step up enforcement,
intimidation,
the authority to stop a vehicle,
emotional abuse,
a bunch of yahoos protesting,
economic abuse,
for non-essential retail,
using children,
we shut down our schools,
isolation,
the stay-at-home order,
and minimizing,
and that's okay,
denying,
because we're in it together,
and blaming.
Vaccination status is a choice.
Most of the province has been in some form of lockdown since last fall. We have implemented the strictest measures in all of North America. Comes with a massive cost to people and their lives.
That's right. Doug Ford said that nobody will go against their chief medical officer. They might as well tie a rope around their neck and jump off a bridge.
LaFish is on the back end of it with the ice cream. He's the press, and here he's serving up the shot.
That's right. And they've run over small businesses, children, and freedom?
Freedom Children's.
Yeah, there we go, and it just continues. Maybe I'm just an autistic, obsessive-compulsive person who checks over everything I write and makes sure it's spelled correctly. Like, I understand not being a Biden supporter, but look, find someone else in America to be your leader, please.
Yeah.
Dear God. Brother, I went to jail standing up for your rights, and then you made a video that you're magnetic. We'll scroll up when you ask, that better not be me. And then I change it up for a bit for you. So let's just give them this one too. There's you, buddy. There's you. Weird thing where some people think that we make fun of the core issue. No, we're not making fun of gay people. We're making fun of politicians who use gay people as tokens for unearned moral virtue.
Exactly, well said.
The design elements change with the addition of the black and brown stripes, blue and pink and white chevrons, and finally at the hoist of the flag, or at the opposite side of the street in this case, is the additional element that we have added here in St. Catharines. This is the purple chevron.
And while I might not get angry, they actually get quite angry. And I do a lot of time to just kind of calm people down and say, don't let it get to you, because when you're letting it get to you, you're letting them win.
I think the comics were the best thing I did last year. Satire can save the world.